We are. Hello, Mountaineer Nation. I am the Wolfman, Dale Wolfley. And to my left, his right, is a big ugly. I'm going to tell you, a Mountaineer legend himself, Big Bad Brian Joswick. And this is the pre-Mountaineer Legends pre-game. And we got some excitement here. We've had a day here getting ready for this inaugural first broadcast of Mountaineer Legends pre-game.
Oh, brother, I'm ready to rock and roll, man. It's exciting. I mean, we had to iron out the kinks to get it ready to go, but man, we're hot. You got to get on this thing and join us. It's going to be a great season. Mountaineer Legends pregame tomorrow kicks off live against Pitt in the backyard brawl. Wolf, man, we're up here in Pittsburgh. We're rocking and rolling at Clark's. You got to come out and hang out with us. We're going to be here tomorrow all day, 12 o'clock to 4:30, 5 o'clock, watching the game after that. Man, it's going to be a great day.
But you say the backyard brawl, you say it like you're a little bit hungry.
Brother, the backyard brawl, if that don't get your juice flowing, I mean, as Mountaineer Legends, as Mountaineer players, the one thing that we got is the blood. We've been there. We've been in the trench. We've been down in there fighting and battling with those guys, and we know what kind of a street fight it's going to be. And the stage is set, and here we go. All the hype, all the pre-stuff, all the predictions, all that stuff goes out the window the moment you get on the field, and we're going to see him play tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, man. Just before we get started on this, the Mountaineer Legends pregame, it's sponsored by Parmar Stores, and we just want to say a huge thank you to Milo Ritten, Big Brian Wall, B Wall. Who else we got to thank here for this starting out? Come on now, give me some blood, give me some juice. This is Backyard Brawl Eve. This is BYB. It's not bring your own beer. Okay, this is the backyard brawl. The beer will be anywhere you go. If you're involved going to the game, the pregame, I really want everybody to be out here. Joe's at Clark's. If you can't make it, what can you do? You can sit here. You can go on what? Twitter live.
Oh, yeah.
Go on, look at all the groups that we're going live
Facebook,
on right now.
YouTube, all them places, man. Go look it up.
So what is it? Is it Mountaineer Legends pregame?
Mountaineer Legends
on
pregame.
YouTube?
Go to it. Yes, it's there, and we're going to be jamming. So join us. Make sure when you're on there, download it, subscribe to it. That YouTube channel. Hey man, rock and roll. Make sure you like it for us. Make sure you like it for us and share it.
Well, we're gonna have a little bit of back and forth with some fans and some Mountaineer legends. I mean, we already got them lined up. Hey, our first one is going to be our first guest is going to be a character. Oh, look at that mohawk, Milo. You could come out. You could show that right on the camera.
Hey, look at that pipe right there, Milo. Oh my God. Hey. By the way, we got to thank Parmar again.
You want to do it?
I do. I have to.
Is that because he's right next to you, Milo?
Absolutely. But more than that, I mean, Parmar's our main sponsor, and they've supported our golf tournament over the years, Wolf. And to have them have confidence in us, to bring Mountaineer Nation the truth, the gospel according to football. All right, because we've been there. So I got to thank Parmar. Matheny Motors jumped on board over in Parkersburg, and they're helping us with our travel and transportation.
That's the MOP ride.
That's the ride. That's the ride, right? Baby. Hey, that's a good-looking ride, too. I'm not going to lie to you, man. That's a guy. But, hey, join us. We're at Clark's. You want to find it? You Google it. Google Clark's Restaurant. Trust me, it'll bring you right here. You want to be here live. Marshall Lowry going to be in the house.
Nashville recording artist.
Nashville. Can you believe it? Oh, he's been in Nashville, baby, but he's going to be here with us, jamming on his guitar, doing some singing and getting us pumped up and ready to go.
That leads me into my first live read because it's about Parmar. And if there's not a Parmar store, Joe's, near you, there will be soon. This week, Parmar is opening 4 new stores in Maryland, in Allegheny and Garrett counties. These are the first Parmar stores in Maryland. If there's not a Parmar store near you, Joe's, There will be soon.
You tag on right. Oh no, that's exciting. They're good people too, man. Every community that there's a store, they're involved in the community. They're supporting it, and they're always giving back. They're great people.
Yeah, let's talk, Joe's, about MLP here and the whole concept of what we're trying to do. You know, this is obviously, you know, Mountaineer Legends pregame with myself and you, but this really is about all the legends. Who's that walking in?
Aaron Beasley in the house over there.
Killer Bees.
Come on, man. I mean, you know, we're talking legends. I mean, we're talking legends, baby.
Are we talking legendary?
We're talking legendary. Hey, this whole thing. Hey, if it ain't legendary, you know.
It ain't legendary.
It ain't legendary.
I didn't know you were waiting for me. Then I missed my cue on that.
I was waiting on you, bro.
Well, that is just some really good stuff. But let's talk about Mountaineer Legend pregame and what are we trying to do out here? Because again, it's not about you and me. It's about all of us, all the brothers, the Brotherhood, and that's really what we're trying to reach. We thought this up and said, "Hey, we never hear from who." The guys that played the game.
The guys that played the game.
The guys, you know what, Joe? The
all
guys that
all
were,
of us.
all of us in those white painted lines. Because when those guys in the white painted lines, what are they? They are warriors in the gridiron, man. Warriors. And they're all legends. And that's why when we put this out there, we have had so much great response because everybody wants to be a part of the WV, man. We wore our helmets, Joe's.
Well, and I got to add to that, you know, legends, you know, it's not about, you know, being a consensus All-American, you know, because I wasn't a consensus All-American without the guys that busted their butt all week long, man, and those look teams showing me and working me and getting me ready for Saturday. Because when I went to the game on Saturday, man, I just loved it because it was easier than practice. Okay, so everybody that wore that WV on the side of their helmet is legendary in my book because we all shared in the wins and we all shared in the losses.
So if we can get some of those guys to unbelly from the bar top, then we might get a few on here tonight, right? Because this is really what? This is the pre-Mountaineer Legends pregame.
But they're here.
And this means that we are going to celebrate what it means to be a Mountaineer. Celebrate the fact that these guys all came out, are playing the backyard brawl after an 11-year hiatus. What's up, Killer Bees?
Oh, man.
Hey, how was your golfing day today?
Hey, you know what, Wolfman? You know, you say that 11 years. You know, this is one of the longest running rivalries in the nation, and it's just one of those things, man. I showed up as a freshman in 1981, and I was taught to hate Pitt right from day one. I didn't know why.
You're a Maryland boy, weren't you?
I'm a Mountaineer. I'm from Maryland. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. And, you know, I got here, and it was like, you got to hate Pitt. You just got to hate Pitt. and that's what rivalry, and it's on both sides. If you're in either one of those rooms this week of prep, it's a different feel. You're kicking off your 22 season. You're kicking off with the backyard brawl, bringing it back to life, man. You know, the stage is set for something really special, and I promise you, you're going to want to be here tomorrow at Clark's. I promise. You know, we got to thank again our Parmar partners for making this thing happen for us.
Oh, okay, now he did it. He actually did go like 30 feet away now.
That's okay. That's okay because guess what? We are live inside.
Okay, so I know who's joining us next, but who else will be joining us tonight and tomorrow? Give me some names. Give me some legendary names.
I'm going to give you the two most legendary names and then the third. You ready? Daryl Talley. All right, Daryl Talley's on campaign to get inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame, which he deserves to be in. But he just got his jersey retired at WVU this past season. And in the same breath, I got to talk about Major Harris, College Football Hall of Famer, as well as Daryl. And these two guys are going to be with us tomorrow. And I got to mention Bees. Killer Bees just walked in. He's on the ballot this year for the College Football Hall of Fame. So you want to talk about some serious legends in the house. and they just keep rolling in. I think that's Garrett Ford Jr. right there.
That is
if
Garrett
I'm not
Ford Jr.
mistaken.
Like, remember, like the Ford, like,
Oh,
hey, isn't a Ford Wheaton BFW playing tomorrow in the backyard brawl? It's a legacy, man.
It's awesome.
It's
awesome.
Oh, so
That's
we got the
pretty special.
Fords in the house. I see Jack up there, Vanderjack. Did you know that Mike Vanderjack retired as the most accurate kicker? Do you know that?
Wolf, I didn't know that.
I do.
I really
I
didn't.
think
I'll
you
tell
gotta
you what
tell
else
him.
I didn't know. I didn't realize the guy was that tall. I mean,
It's pretty something special. Let's go with that. I don't know who's touching up the microphone stuff there, but
That's okay.
We're getting this.
It's all good.
This is the pre.
The pre. Yeah.
Okay, well, who else we got out tomorrow? Is it Marc Bulger stopping by?
Bulger.
Hey, do you remember
Mike
what he did?
Logan, Pittsburgh Steeler, freaking Super Bowl.
What did Mike Bulger do against the Pitt in 1998? Six touchdowns. He destroyed them.
and that's the great part. We're talking Mountaineer football players talking Mountaineer football. I mean, come on, man. I mean, we've all been there. We've all been in the battle. We've all been in the brawl. We know what it is. The prep week, and then of course from kickoff to the end of that game. We've all been there. These guys are going to share with us their passion and their stories about their memories of the brawl.
So, are you about ready then to get this pre-game of Mountaineer legends kicked off?
Well, if I want to hear some stories.
You want to hear some stories?
I got a lot of stories. So I can tell you the first one, if you don't mind. 1983. All right, 1983. Pitt comes to our house up there in Morgantown, and we hadn't won the football game since 1975. So it was a bit of a dry run. Okay,
A little bit dry. Okay,
spell,
all right. We'll go with that.
Hey, we're down, but 6.5 minutes left in the game, and daggone, we got to go 90 yards. And old Hostetler gets in the huddle, and the first thing he said, Joswiak, you got to quit cussing. And then after that, he said, boys, we got to go 90 yards, and we're going to score, and we're going to win this game. And by God, if we didn't go down on about 16 plays and get down in there in the red zone, ran a little boot, Hostetler runs across for the touchdown. And I'll tell you something, the crowd was so loud that night on that particular play that they heard it all the way on the Monongahela River about 5 miles away. That was unbelievable.
I always like to say is that we never let facts get in the way of a good story. And I think that 90-yard drive was actually 80.
Hey, whatever. The older we get, the more embellished these stories become. Heck, I scored 6 touchdowns in one game in high school.
Is it an offensive player?
No, that's Al Bundy. Remember that Al Bundy stuff? I scored 6 touchdowns.
Okay, now you're showing that age. That's all right. I got it, man. Okay, so, hey, Marshall, let's pay attention over there. Marshall Lowry over there. I don't know. He's not even listening, so let's continue on. We got to get Vanderjack over here. Joe's. I want to hear about his kicking. I want to hear about slapping on. We need to go to a commercial here. The first, let's go with Parmar, man. Let's get it going. Let's ride with the Mountaineers, and let's ride with Parmar Stores.
Amen.
Hi, I'm Sean Martin. I'm from Bluefield, West Virginia. And when I'm back home in Mercer County, you will find me at my local Parmar store.
We had that golden boot pride at Parmar. There are literally hundreds of Parmar stores in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and even more on the way. Download the Parmar app to save even more. And whether it's food, gas, groceries, or whatever, we have you covered at Parmar. West Virginia proud, West Virginia strong, and ready to serve you.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
What does the Pitt game mean to me? I was offered a scholarship. I didn't sign there, so I wanted to make sure I went somewhere where I would play them 4 straight games. And guess what? I went to West Virginia and won 4 straight games.
Here we go. Look at this. I'm telling you, are we high tech? Is this awesome? Is this big time? We got Mike Vanderjack rolling on up here. This is pretty cool. And, there's a lot of things, Joe's, that Jack is doing. And, but before we get to actually what we're going to get to, he's got a lot of slap it on things that he's doing in his business, his future. And, of course, I want to get to a few stories before we get to Backyard Brawl stories. Okay, because I think one of your greatest stories is in the NFL. And I think you actually kind of pissed off some important quarterback. But I think it was kind of like your mouth kind of ran a little bit. Because, Jack, you were never afraid to run the mouth. And correct me if I'm wrong. Am I right or am I wrong? Yeah, hang on, man. I think we're getting it now.
Hello?
Yeah, okay. Hey, you're on. We are high tech here, man.
Hey, Wolf. This guy could talk junk all day long, man. He looks like a guard. I mean, I didn't realize this cat was this big.
Please don't tell me I look like a guard.
You sound like Vern Howard, acting like he's a quarterback.
If you guys are tackles, I'm not a guard.
You're tall as a guard.
Hey, wait a minute.
There you go.
Let's hear the story of foot in mouth.
Oh, God. Are we really doing this?
Oh, we're here, man. This is Mountaineer Legends Pre-Game. Hey, and you are the first guest on MLP.
Listen, as well I should be.
Well, you are the
so
pre, and you're Canadian.
Listen, I'm a Mountaineer. That's all you need to know.
Well, we'll go with that, brother.
All right. Okay, so I was doing a NFL playoff analyst in Canada. The event went great. I did I talked about the games, and right at the end of the thing, he's like, so, what do you think of Peyton Manning?
Wait a minute. All he said was, what do you think of Peyton Manning? There wasn't no precursor.
No.
There wasn't like, what did you think of him doing this? You said, what do you think of Peyton Manning?
Yeah. And I made the mistake of just, I guess, answering the question in what I thought was honesty. That's what I did wrong.
Lay it on us, man.
I should have lied my ass off, but I went with, and as we sit here, if there was one regret I have in life, that was it. And then Peyton made it worse, obviously, down at the Pro Bowl. He got asked 100 times, what do you think about what Vanderjagt said, blah, blah, blah. So he finally went off, right? He said what he said, and most of it was a lie. But anyway.
I think he's forgiven you by now.
So, a couple weeks later, we're in the weight room, and I walked up to him, and I'm like, dude, what were you thinking? And he was like, what was I thinking? What were you thinking? And I was like, yeah, good point. But we played 4 more years together. We still talk to this day. We have the same birthday. I was on a cruise this year. I looked down at my phone, and Peyton Manning's wishing me happy birthday. So it was pretty cool. The other thing is I was in New Orleans, and I was going to the Manning restaurant. So I texted Peyton and jokingly, I'm like, hey, I'm good to go in here, right? And he was like, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I was allowed in. But
I think you were looking for a free meal.
Well, hang on. The text I got back was, of course you're allowed in there. Put it on Archie's tab. So I said, done.
Well, that's awesome, man. And when you look at your NFL career with the Colts primarily, and then you did go in the Canadian League. I think you're with the Toronto Argonauts and Saskatchewan.
Yep.
You retired. It says here, and I'm doing Wikipedia. And my brother Ronnie, actually, I read something from Wikipedia on his page that wasn't true. So I don't know if this is true or not, but it says that you were, at the time, the most accurate kicker of all time in the NFL when you retired.
I am still the most accurate kicker who's retired. 16 years later, nobody's retired with a better percentage. So there's guys that are active that are better than me, and Justin Tucker would be one of them. That guy is unbelievable, but I'm still the most accurate kicker retired.
I think I'm sitting next to a legend. That's right, brother.
What are you gonna be trying to be like McAfee and go WW, whatever it is?
I am not.
Are you sure? Because I can see you
Bring
going.
him on. Bring him on, Wolf, man. Bring him on.
I
want
can
him
see
to
you
come
going off the
rope.
top rope, man. Honestly, you know. And
Listen,
it says here, Joe said, I can't believe I'll tell you. Are you really 6'5"?
I am. And listen, there's guys in this room that will tell you and verify that the football team had a dunk contest when we were at West Virginia. I was the only white guy in the dunk contest, and I won the freaking thing. And the next day, I'm on the front row of the hands team. I'm like, Coach Nealon, are you nuts? Like, winning a dunk contest is one thing. Please don't put me in a football game to actually block somebody.
Let me ask you, what is your favorite Don Nealon story?
Well, my favorite Don Nealon story would be the first time I stepped onto the field at Mountaineer Field. I went out there for a pooch punt. Okay, so we're on like the 37 going in. And my first punt was 9 yards straight in the air. Okay,
So it's pretty good.
Yeah, our whole team is down on the goal line making sure it's not in the end zone, and the returner's standing right in front of me, fair catching the punt. If he didn't fair catch it, it would have been gone. And then I'm walking off the field, and Coach Nealon, hey, run off the field, will you?
Now, was that actually with his broken finger before his fixed?
Yeah. And I'm looking at him going, who are you pointing at?
See, it's true. I tell everybody, he'd be pointing at you or looking at you and pointing at somebody else.
Hey,
you
come
never know who
over
he's
here.
talking to. Well, that's good stuff. Now, let's move on here because I want to hear about your backyard brawl story. What do you got? What do you remember about the backyard brawl? If you could tell Garrett Ford's nephew, Bryce Ford Wheaton, BFW, if you could tell him one or two or maybe three, I don't care how many things you want to tell him, but what are you going to tell him about the backyard brawl?
Well, first of all, that punt that I just mentioned was Saturday night backyard brawl. It was on ESPN. It was the ESPN Sunday night game, the first game. The place is packed. My family's in the crowd waving the Canadian flag, and it was 9 yard punt against Pitt. So, and then that was me as a punter. Then the next year we played Pitt, and I missed 2 extra points against Pitt.
So you were waiting to the NFL for your glory.
Yeah. I was. If you would have asked anybody on the planet, is Vanderjagt going to kick in the NFL after these 2 performances against Pitt? The answer would have been hell no. But anyway.
You know, I've got to be honest with you. I think that I was thinking the same thing.
You weren't alone, so it's okay. It's,
what else, man?
I proved a lot of people wrong. But
What do you remember though about this game?
It's just fantastic. I mean, it's an hour down the road. It's 2 great football programs, and it goes back dozens and dozens of years. It's just a fantastic rivalry, and I'm so glad they brought it back.
Well, that's the truth, man. You know, I really think, Joe's, and when we look back at the backyard, what did you like playing? You know, we played at the old Pitt Stadium. It wasn't Heinz Field. It wasn't even Three Rivers. You were back at Three Rivers, were you not?
I played at the same little round thing, whatever that.
You know, do you remember having to walk up there because the bus couldn't make it up? I had to walk up the hill, and I was so doggone pissed off at Pitt. By the time I got the hill, I was out of breath.
Are we supposed to play nice right now, or are we just supposed to be?
You can play however you want as long as you keep it PG 16. We are agreeing. MLP 16.
Okay, you guys go ahead.
All I remember is the lousy turf. All right, there was an ugly stadium and lousy turf, and we had to, like you said, that hill. I don't really remember the hill or anything like that. I don't remember much from like pregame stuff, man, because my head was in a place that I wasn't worried about where.
Wait a minute! If you had to walk that hill, you would remember it.
I swear, Wolf, I don't remember. I swear, I really don't. Honest to God, remember no hill. But it don't matter. All I remember is the brawl. All I remember is the fight that ensued after that kickoff, man. That's all I remember, and that's all I care about. And I hope tomorrow. Obviously, I want WVU to win, but I want this to be a true backyard brawl. I want this to be a dogfight right down to the freaking wire, man, and let the best team win in the end. Yeah, but I want it to be a true backyard brawl. It's deserving. It's on College game day. It's the game of the century. We brought it back after 11 years. Come on, man. I just want it to be a great game.
They need to be standing at center field before the game team to team, dancing and jumping up and down and just talking all kinds of trash to each other. And
Wait a minute. Whoa.
before
Wait
kickoff.
a minute. I have to know
I'll
this.
be at the back. Don't worry.
I have to know how much trash did a kicker trash before on pregame? How much? Honestly, I want to know because Jack, I actually know you to some degree, so I can actually see you talking some smack there to the other side. What were you saying?
Absolutely. Yes. I am an athlete who kicks. I'm not a kicker, okay? So let's get that. Okay? I'm an athlete who kicks.
That's why you're a legend.
Specifically, I remember a Denver game where it was overtime, and I'm standing there and the team is off to the side on the huddle, and it's just me and the defense of the Denver Broncos, and Ian Gold, the linebacker's going, "Hey, Vanderjagt, you're going to miss, dog. You're going to miss." And I'm like, "Ian, it's over, buddy. This game is over." And I dropped a 51-yarder in his lap, and we walked off the field. Thank you very much.
What is your mind thought? Because when I was a head coach, I had no knowledge. If I went and talked to a kicker, it was about, "Hey, man, you got a piece of gum." Because I'm not going to say anything. I have no knowledge to even part on him. I wouldn't even know where to begin. Hey, did you stretch? Do you feel pretty good? Have you got that toe pointed in the right direction? What are you thinking about when you're actually going out there? Because, Casey Legg, he came from soccer for WVU. He was down in South Charleston. He was a soccer guy, turned into a kicker now who's up for some awards this season. And, when you say Casey Legg, get it? Leg? That's pretty good. So what are you thinking about? What were you thinking as the most accurate kicker that's retired?
Listen, everybody asks you, "Oh, my God, how can you kick in the NFL? Well, it's $1 billion company, and there's 80,000 people, and there's 14 million watching, and oh, my God, how do you do it?" And it's like, listen, the ball's going in. Right? I'm going to kick it, and it's going in. So where's the pressure?
So you just I have the confidence, I have the knowledge. You didn't worry about your 1-2 step kick.
No, it's just
1-2 swing.
It was going in.
Well, all right, Jack. I like that about you because that leads me to really what I talked about, what you're doing now and what you have been leading into. I'm just going to say, call it slap.
Slap it on, baby.
Slap it on. And I'm saying, so you got to hear what the story is now when we say slap it on.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta know because that right there just leads my
You
brain.
don't know about slap it on, bro?
I'm gonna learn right now, big.
Holy cow.
Let's go.
I'm going to bring it over here when I'm off here and show you what we got going on because I got it over there. But we actually just got licensing with West Virginia. So
I know.
We are now a fully licensed.
Wait a minute.
So what is it?
Who got you into West Virginia for licensing?
One of the three of us, but it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Okay. It was Wolf.
Okay, sorry.
Nice.
A little bit of self-appreciation
Little
going
toot
on.
your own horn down there.
Yeah.
So that's okay. That's okay. I did it at this end. You did it at that end.
Well, you know what? When you asked me for that meeting with Shane Lyons, I said, it's going in. Just like you kick it. I said, it's getting done.
It's gonna happen.
All right, it's going to happen.
See?
So we did that. We got done. But go ahead. Tell us, man. This is great stuff.
It's a decal company, just like Fathead. We don't like to say the F word in our company, but it's similar to Fathead. But we have our own app that we now scan our product and videos come up and highlights and things like that. So we're going to be able to do decals of players of the West Virginia logo. We did the Mount Rushmore of the West Virginia football program, and then you'll be able to point your phone at it and watch highlights of the guys that are on there. So it's a product and a company that really doesn't exist anywhere in the world but at Slap It On. So we are...
Let's just say that one more time. Go ahead. I like what you're saying.
Slap it on, baby.
Slap it on. And it's really kind of stupid proof because I figured it out.
There you go. See,
It's up there on the wall.
Is.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Well, that's some good news, Jack. And, I just want to know, man, is that when you're aren't you working with Peyton, bringing it a full circle? Aren't you working with some of those guys? Just read off the names of your celebrity superhood.
Well, Peyton has already agreed to do the Mount Rushmore of Tennessee, so he's on board.
So, we haven't even talked about the Mount Rushmore. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, then, come on, man. Let's get it.
It would be good to know who the Mountaineer fans think is on the Mount Rushmore of West Virginia football. But the four that we have, drum roll, please. Sam Huff.
Okay. Well, you went deep on that one. You went for the long ball.
No-brainer?
Oh, wait a minute. A no-brainer? No. He is absolutely the apex of Mountaineer football. I mean, he you want to talk about legend. Sam Huff is hands down the guy, the guru, the guy, the main dude.
So he's not going anywhere. He's on there. The other three are a little more recent. Obviously, Major Harris.
Okay, because he's going to be here tonight. I'll go with that.
Yep. Just because he's going to be here. Pat White.
Really guessing. Okay, all right. Hey, Major Pat Major. There we go. Let the eternal fight go on.
Exactly. It's the excitement of the conversation that goes, oh, why don't you have so-and-so? And why don't you have so-and-so? Well, our fourth one is Daryl Talley.
Oh, well, that's two of the four for Mount Rushmore that are here this tonight and tomorrow. I mean, you want to talk about Mountaineer Legends pregame, and I'm going to be surprised because Jack, knowing you and your narcissistic ways, I was going to say, well, how is Vanderjack not on there? Are you like hanging off the edge? Are you like the tail?
We're going to have a kicker Mount Rushmore, so we'll have me and Sauerbrunn and Pat McAfee.
Oh, okay.
We sell a ton of those babies.
Well, I'll tell you, who's on my Mount Rushmore? There's four of them. Me, and me. It's going up on my roof, and no one else can look at it.
We'll sell 3 of those, so congratulations.
Yeah, me, and me. We're going to sell 4.
That's going to be a big, wide picture.
And one more, my mother.
There you go. So we'll sell 4.
All right, Jack. Well, listen, man, I want to thank you, Marshall. We're going to go with a read now, Joe's. You know what, Joe's? Parmar, man. We talked about how good they are. And we'll go ahead and you read whatever one you want on Parmar there. Go for the live read.
Hey, if there's not a Parmar store near you, there will be soon. This week, Parmar is opening 4 new stores in Maryland, Allegheny, and Garrett counties. These are the first Parmar stores in Maryland. Hey, thank goodness. I hope they make their way to Baltimore. Hey, if there's not one near you, there's not a Parmar near you, there will be soon.
Wow. Give me that back.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You did a good job.
Hey, you know what? I'll tell you what.
I'm just reading.
I
got hooked on phonics.
You know what? My third grader would do just as good as that.
You got a West Virginia degree, don't you?
I got but I had like 8 majors, so I don't know how much that degree really matters.
My gosh. Hey, Jack, I want to say, man, great to have you. Mike Van Jack, all-time most accurate NFL kicker in the NFL. One of our great kickers, and you definitely would be on the Mount Rushmore of kicking for sure. And as the biggest narcissist, Mount Rushmore, I love you, man.
I thought you were the biggest.
No, well, I'll tell you what, I weigh the most, but honestly, man, it's great to have you. Thanks for coming. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Are you going to be by?
Absolutely, yeah. We'll do it again. Thanks,
okay,
boys.
so we'll see you tomorrow. And Marshall, let's hit it. Let's hear a little bit of a commercial, and we'll hopefully get Killer Bees up here. Take care, brother. Thank you, man. God bless.
Hi, I'm Sean Martin. I'm from Bluefield, West Virginia. And when I'm back home in Mercer County, you will find me at my local Parmar store.
We had that gold and blue pride at Parmar. There are literally hundreds of Parmar stores in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and even more on the way. Download the Parmar app to save even more. And whether it's food, gas, groceries, or whatever, we have you covered at Parmar. West Virginia proud, West Virginia strong, and ready to serve you.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
What does the pick game mean to me? I was offered a scholarship. I didn't sign there, so I wanted to make sure I went somewhere where I would play them 4 straight games. And guess what? I went to West Virginia and won 4 straight games.
Hi,
That's freaking badass.
Okay, we're back right now. Thank you, Marshall Lowry. I'll tell you what, man. You got the thing. You are on the air. Hey, Joe's, put that on the air so they can see that right there. Okay, put it on the air.
Oh, we're on.
Boy, I tell you what. You know what?
Hey, hold on, Jack. Right here. Check this out. This is it, man. This is the Rushmore. the Mount Rushmore of Mountaineer football right here. Now, hey, listen, if you don't agree, reach out to us, man. Make a comment. We love to hear comments, don't we? We want to hear comments. If you got access to making comments,
well, you can on there. You can go ahead, Marshall. Make sure that people are allowed to make a comment and talk about the stories. You see right there, Jack there is slap it on, man. You know what? I tell you, I like this slap it on right there. We got Major Harris. You got Pat White. You got.
That's who says there's going to be PG-16.
This is PG. Wait, are you in the gutter? You're going to get out of the gutter there, Brian Joswiak.
I'm trying.
Big Joe's
I'm
out
trying.
here. That's good stuff.
This is awesome. I mean, that's really a great thing.
Paging.
Yep.
Aaron Beasley. Paging. I think he's waiting. I think he's waiting for like an intro with music and coming down.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the all-time great defensive backs in Mountaineer history, the legend, the Killer Bees. And then, of course, a great NFL player and doing his thing. And again, on the College Football Hall of Fame ballot this year. Hey, Bees, man, welcome. Thanks for being here, brother.
I just hope I stay on that ballot forever because it always comes back up every year and I feel important again.
Here, let me give you a squeeze.
I can't hear you there, babe. Let's turn you up a little bit or talk in the microphone.
Yep.
You got to stick your face right on it, man.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Unfortunately, yes.
What's up, Wolf?
What's up, brother? How are you, man?
Good to see you, bro.
You know what? You are a sight for sore eyes, man. It is good to see you. And I have not personally congratulated you on being up for the College Hall of Fame, the NCAA 2A. Let's just call it NCAA 2A Hall of Fame. We have a mission. We have to go ahead and get in there, and we got to vote. We all have to sign up. When you can, it's $40 for the season. Is it not, Bees? Go ahead and get in there and vote for it because you deserve it.
I don't mind being on the ballot every year because I feel important one day of my life.
Hey, you know what? You're important at least twice a year for me. At least twice a year, you're important to me. Yeah, I say you're at the golf tournament. Okay. And then when you come in and we go to those events and we're like reaching over the bushes, reaching over the bushes and like laying over the bushes and falling over the bushes. And
Hey, Bees, I love you every day of the year, man. Okay?
I know.
All right.
I just joke, man. I feel important every day. Every day is the best day of our life, right?
you know,
Is that better?
that again, yes. We're going to call you the comeback kid.
I always come back for it. You guys. I love it.
Oh, well, how's it going, man, with the family? What's happening?
Everything's good. We have some great athletes coming up. You know, some track stars, soccer stars, and
What are Umi? How's she doing?
she's upcoming season is coming.
She's the head coach at Rutgers, am I right?
Rutgers University.
I mean, my goodness, well, your kids must be some real athletic kids.
Superstars.
If he says so himself.
I mean, just because like I'm humble, but I like to just watch and it's like just to see where they come from and how hard they work. You know, because track is a sport where you run, and then you just get one time to prove it. And like my daughter, she runs a 400 right now. So, you know, if anybody knows, that's one of the toughest races. And Jersey track is so competitive. You know, we got a Thing Move, who just won the 800. We got Cindy McLaughlin. I mean, there's so many track meets that we go to, and it's like you realize that none of these kids are going to be in the Olympics from Jersey. I mean, it's like every year, and they're running against these kids, and they're doing well.
Well, it sounds like it's just super highly competitive. Right?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the best track runners come from New Jersey, and
What are you doing? Scotty
Is that better?
Sears is now showing us. What is that?
oh no, my mic.
What do you got there, buddy?
people can't hear. They can't.
It's turned down. Okay. We got to hear Bees. I think his microphone's a little bit turned down.
I can't even hear myself.
Let's go, Marshall. Okay.
Can you hear me now? I feel like I'm on AT&T service.
Really?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Well, I tell you, I can hear you, man, because it is.
Can you
Go
hear
ahead.
I think he's working on the. He's working on it.
You working on your food?
Is that better?
I think it is. Is it?
That sounds better.
I can hear you over here now.
Is that better?
Okay. Well, just keep talking, Bees. Here we go.
You want me to sing?
You feel like
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Hey, give me a beat.
Okay. Freestyle.
You want
We're rapping.
Hey, can you rap these?
I can.
I can, but I cuss too much, and I like to be kid appropriate.
Well, okay. We are PG-16 here, so yeah, is that you can't do that?
Are you gonna give me a beat?
Oh, absolutely.
Is there like a? I'm in the house. I'm going to write it. Not tonight. Not tonight. Bro.
Hey, people are watching this. You know that they're going, well, that's pretty good. You know, I can rap.
No, I'm not that good.
Don't you remember the old school stuff back in the day? Like, I was cooling on the corner on a hot summer day, just me and my posse and MCA. You remember that?
But that's not your rap.
Oh, you mean like you got to make your own rap?
Okay.
Today I sit in Clarkson Pit. Tomorrow we go and do our stuff. Take care of business. Was that good? I don't know what to tell you. I'm terrible at that.
And kick the. Never mind.
Exactly. Just take care of business, man. Just take care of business.
Bees, okay, so we're ready to roll here, man. Let's talk about let's talk about your days at Pitt, talking about playing Pitt and the backyard brawl. Again, I said the same thing to Banner Jack, or asked him a question, is if you could tell our young guys who have not played in 11 years, well, this is the first time they were actually going to be playing. What advice could you give them, and what motivation would you give them? Because I know you got a lot.
My first thing is, stay in the moment. Sometimes you hear about a rivalry like this, and you want to do too much, and you want to go make the play instead of letting the play happen. And then at the time that it happens, you make the play. Like, don't go out there and cause things that can hurt your team because it's too emotional. You go out there and the focus is just to play one play at a time, and that's the one thing when I was here and I got the chance to work with the guys, it was like I only wanted to grade 100 every play.
Why? Why was that so important to you?
Because that one play is the play. It's like the one play that you're lining up. It doesn't matter what happened the play before because your technique has to be 100%. Your mental has to be 100%.
See, and Beach, you know what that does? I don't mean to interrupt you, but honestly, I got to say this. It makes the guy it allows the guy next to you to play at his 100%. When I know that you're giving 100%, I trust that. That lets me do my job. I don't have to worry, like you said, in the moment. I don't have to worry about what you're doing. I got to worry about what I'm doing in my moment. And knowing that we're each giving that 100% on every play and working our butts off for each other, that's what makes it so very special.
It is like that kind of pride is what you put through every play. So, like, one of my things was as a D-back, hustle was my game. I wasn't fast, but I ran to the ball. Like, if I had a go route away from the play, I wanted to get to that camera. I I wanted to get on film no matter where I was.
Yeah, and that's what they say, right? Whenever that camera ends, your coach always told you, you better see your number on there, right? Now, that just reminds me of when you talk about letting the play happen, playing within yourself. By the way, you sound like a coach right now, just so you know. You sound like a coach, but that was you. You had, I thought your best thing that you did was your instinct of seeing the play happen and develop. You knew where that ball was going to go, and that's when he struck. And he struck like a cobra, man. And when you did it, you were there to pick that ball off with sure hands.
Yeah.
And would you agree? Now, would you say with was that a pretty good, out there? Because I think you saw the play coming the entire time. Like, that dude's going to throw over here. Who was that quarterback that you got that pick off at Pitt? Was that Sinceri? Who was that?
I'm not sure, but hey, that play, I credit Matt Tafoni for that play.
Okay, continue.
Because, when I played here, we did an all-out blitzing. It was no sit back and cover twos. We did a lot of just straight man, black coverage. And that particular play, black coverage is no help. And, hey, I'm going to tell you something about that game. I got beat probably like 3 times for a touchdown. Gave up like 200 yards. I was toast out there a couple plays. But I always went for the ball. One play, I missed it. The next play, I just got ran by. But I got 2 interceptions. I should have had 3, but Van Washington stole one from me while I came down. But, when that play happened, Matt Tafoni said, Beasley, sit on this play because I'm going to get to this quarterback and you're going to get a pick 6. And I believe, when you said 100% believing in your teammate, that play comes to mind for me because I got a pick 6 because I took a 3-step, the quarterback planted his feet, and I just believed in what I saw, and I trusted my teammate that he was going to get there. If you ever watched that play, I jumped the route so quick that the ball was thrown behind me. I'm going to show you the picture.
Wait a minute. I have that for all of our ads. You haven't even been paying attention, have you? Yeah, see, that's just you. You're not even worried about it. I'm out there busting my can, getting all this video of all the greats out there that we're having on the show and talking about you because you're going to be one of the mainstays for MLP, Mountaineer Legends Pre-Game, throughout the season. Okay, so that's going to be pretty awesome. I think you're trying to break into a new career.
Hey, man, I just love being around good people, man. So that not a new career. I've been doing this kind of stuff.
Oh, so you're a pro.
Hey, they call me One Take Jake. No, but like it's like a lot of the experiences that I have and the people I've been around, it's like just to hear my story coming from Valley Forge Military Academy. I didn't have any scholarships, and it's like I still stay connected with the school. And I talked to the coach yesterday. It was funny. I talked to Lawrence Wright. Lawrence Wright is the guy that got the fumble recovery when we played the Sugar Bowl. When he picked the ball up, he was number 4 and ran it back for a touchdown.
Yep.
Well, we went to Valley Forge together. He was the number 1 safety in the country, but he didn't have his SATs. And he came up there. I was a basketball player, and I got to hang out with him, and that's the first person I seen that played football from Florida. And I said, man, y'all play football like that? He's like, yeah. He was doing all the drills, and I'm like, man. I started following. I get emotional, but that's my guy. I start following around. We start studying. He started how to watch film, and he showed me how to play football. And then next thing you know, we're at West Virginia playing Florida in the Sugar Bowl. And the crazy thing is, we always talk. He got a Jim Thorpe Award. I didn't get the Jim Thorpe Award, but I had 10 interceptions. He had 1.
How did that happen?
Politics, I don't know.
You know what? Well, we didn't go there for you enough, and that reminds me that we're going to have to go there and vote for you getting into the College Hall of Fame because legends are legends, brother, and you are certainly one of them. And when we're not just talking about inside those white lines, I like to say, hey, what's your stories inside the white lines? What's funny? What's good? What's emotional? What's your favorite story outside the white lines at WVU? Give me one. Give me a solid
I like
big
to
time
tell people
story.
I like telling people this story. I was such a basketball fanatic. Basketball was everything for me. I didn't even want to play football. I just played it as a habit. So in 10th grade, I found out the cross country team was taking a trip to Oregon to run in a 10-person relay. Costs $150. You go out there for 2 weeks. I'm like, man, I want to run cross country. I'm like, we flew to Oregon. Well, we flew to Utah. No, excuse me. We flew to Oregon. We drove down to Utah. We ran. We trained. And it was my first time really on the West Coast. But the relay is 190 miles. So everybody has to run like 3 legs, and you run like 15 miles. It's out in the Cascade Mountain. Yeah. So the funny story is, my coach.
There wasn't any offensive lineman running it, I can tell you that.
It took us 19 hours. So you run, you got flashlights, you're passing the baton, you got a van that moves the shuttle, and it took us all night. So I was gung-ho. I said, Coach, I want to run first. I want to get us in the lead, and we're going to win this race. So the first time she comes up to me right before the race, she comes with this big old tub of Vaseline. She has this glob of Vaseline. She says, okay, Aaron, take your shoes off. I said, Coach, what do you mean? She's like, I got to grease your toes up because there's going to be so much friction when you run, you're not going to be able to stop. Because the relay is called Hood to Coast. So you run from Mount Hood to the coast of Oregon. So the first leg is down a mountain. You can't stop. You average 4-minute miles because you can't stop. So,
I'm okay with that.
I said,
And your
Coach,
toes all jammed in the front of your shoe, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Grease them toes, man.
grease them toes. So I said, Coach, I don't want that leg. I said, Coach, I'm going to have to change my leg. So what she did, I was like, just give me the 3 hardest legs. So I had to run like 15.5 miles over this 19-hour trip. And I'm talking about climbs. You know, if you driven in here from 68, you know, well, some of those climbs were running up that mountain 5 miles. Wow.
It's okay.
All to make it. Anything to make it, though, you know? Anything to make it. I just wanted to be successful. I got another cool story. Like, Dr. J's son went to a school in my hometown, and I became real good friends with him. And Dr. J's son brought me down to one of his birthday parties, and I got to meet Dr. J because I had a little energy back then. And Dr. J was pulling me to the side. He was like, "Man," he's like, "You're like the life of the party. Who are you? What do you do?" I was like, Doc, I'm going to the NFL. Because that's when I found out I was going to Valley Forge Military Academy and I wasn't going to play basketball anymore. So I told Dr. J in high school I was going to play in the NFL, and I played for the Jaguars. I got to go to an Orlando Magic game, and I walk under, and Dr. J like walks up to me. He's like, "Beasley." I'm like, Doc remembered me? So Doc remembered. And like we're still cool today. And every time I see him, it's like he just gives me a big old hug. So it's like a Philly person growing up in Philadelphia area would know how that hits you, and Dr. J knows you like that. You know, so that was pretty cool.
The doctor. Come on, man. That is really cool.
Doc's one of the coolest people ever, you know?
Awesome. Listen, we're going to go a commercial here and come back on the flip side. I want you to stay with us, okay? Okay. All right, here we go. Let's rock and roll.
Hi, my name is Wyatt Milam, and I'm from Canova, West Virginia. When I'm back home in Canova, you will find me at my local Parmar store.
We had that gold and blue pride at Parmar. There are literally hundreds of Par Mar stores in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and even more on the way. Download the Par Mar app to save even more. And whether it's food, gas, groceries, or whatever, we have you covered at Par Mar. West Virginia proud and ready to serve you.
And if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
All he does is catch the football. That is beautiful. That's why I came to West Virginia, man.
Ding dong, the witch is dead in Arizona.
It's a totally energized Heinz Field, the power of the Renegade song.
The backyard brawl, man, against Pitt. Look at that. Oh, there's Ron Wolfley.
Wow! They came after Donovan McNabb, went after him, they played to win the game.
Everybody's going bonkers, even the referees.
Oh, those look like some sticky gloves right there. We talk about 50-50. Right now it's 50-50. Who's going to get it?
Game came with cover zero, man across the board.
Pick up a flag because, hey, and then with the Renegade song, even flags don't count.
They're going to get an Italian army behind them right there, just like Franco Harris.
My goodness, that is pure guts.
Give me a pepperoni roll, man. And here we are back again. Because you're just trying to get some food now, man. And guess what? It's only a minute and a half commercial, bro.
Hey, tell them where we're back at.
Well, we are back at Clark's Restaurant. And listen, you got to come out tomorrow. We have starting at 12 o'clock. I'm going to say 12 o'clock because Scotty won't be happy.
12 o'clock.
Okay, Marshall Lowry, Nashville artist recording artist, I should say. He's out here. He's funky. He's going to play tonight out here. He's going to play tomorrow. He's got the groove. He's got a new song. Are you playing that tomorrow, Marshall, the new song? It is a kick-can song, man. I'm talking big time, Joes.
Yes, sir.
We heard
Yes,
him listening up. So he's ready to play his new song out there and get going around 12 o'clock. Right here again at Clark's. We're at 75 Blazier Drive. And it's only about 8 minutes from the Wexford exit there. So it's a good deal. It's a good time. We are going to be partying backyard brawl style. And again, it's not BYB and bring your own beer. It's backyard brawl. And Clark's is here to take care of all your needs and your spirits, bees. Because I know you like those spirits you just put out there.
I used to always think, what did the wine and spirits mean until I got older? Now I don't drink for taste, I drink for spirits.
Oh yeah, I like that. Hey man, so let's talk now. We talked about the backyard brawl, everything you thought about the WVU. Let's talk a little bit about your NFL career, man. Tell us how that went for you, how you felt making the NFL, because you had a great career, and I know you just had so much success, and you've been an ambassador for WVU in the NFL.
I would start with that's bad, I know. Well, I got hurt early, and it was tough. I got in there. Oh, I got a story. You want to hear a story? Because I used to talk a lot at practice. Wolf, you were there. All practice long. So I got into the NFL. I'm in my first camp, and I'm just trying to feel my way through. Because I'm like, man, that's Clyde Simmons. I watched Clyde Simmons in my first NFL football game. He's on my team. And I'm like, hold up, just Jeff Lageman. Man, he played with one of my great favorite players, Bruce Harper, So I'm out there. At first I was in a daze, and then I started getting into it. But what happened was my first year, Jerry Holmes came down, and Jerry Holmes was my defensive back coach, and he did an internship with the Jaguars that year. And the funniest story, I was quiet down there because I was just trying to fit in, And he comes up to me, and I called back up to West Virginia. I think I talked to Logan, and Logan was like, man, Coach Holmes said, he called us, and he was like, man, Beasley down here all quiet. He ain't doing what he usually do. he ain't playing. I'm like, I heard that message, and I was like, man, I got to get back to me.
Right on.
But then what happens? My second preseason game, I go in there and we play cover 2 up there. You got to go take on bigger guys sometimes. I took on a fullback. I blew my shoulder out, and I thought it was just a stinger. I go out there. This is my first preseason game, my second preseason game that I really played, and I fractured my shoulder blade. I had 3 cracks in my shoulder, and I go out there.
Ouch.
And I thought I had a stinger. My arm's on my teammate's shoulder, and he's like, "Yo, line up, man! They're about to run a play." My arm just like collapses, and I thought I could play through it. So I go out there and try to cover the number 6 pick Eddie Kennison, who runs like a 4.2 with one arm. I made the play, but I ran right back to the locker room. I said, "Man, something's bad." So I missed 10 games my first year after only missing 1 play at West Virginia.
I don't remember you missing 10 games. That's surprising to me because I'll tell you what, the training room must have really hated you. Being in there every day the way you do, run your mouth and talk. And
We had battles because it was funny. This was when they first put in the hyperbaric oxygen type training, 1996, right? So I'm sitting in this little chamber every day for an hour, and I was getting claustrophobic. It was like every day, but I mean, it did work. I guess it worked. I don't know, but I still felt like a long time because every day, that's all I had to look forward to was sitting in this little cube, no TV. Back then we didn't have cell phones. We don't have all the things they have now. There's no internet. So I'm just sitting in there just staring, pumping oxygen in myself for like an hour and a half every day. It was tough. It was tough.
Boy, I'll tell you, I will never forget. Back in the day, they used to have oxygen on the sidelines. And Reggie Rembert went for like an 80-yard touchdown. And I ran after him, all the way down 80 yards. I got to the end zone. I didn't even hug him. I ran to the sideline and got me an oxygen mask. I will never forget. I ran all that way. I couldn't even bear to hug him and give him a high five. I had to run right to the maybe even crawl a little bit to the bench and say, "Hey, you got oxygen." You know what I mean?
Hey, you earned it. I'm going to earn this oxygen.
There's no doubt, man. Well, listen, Beasley, I'll tell you what we're going to do because we got you on starting off tomorrow at the 2 o'clock hour. You are going to be on. You are a staple, brother, as a Mountaineer legend. And I tell you what, man, this is going to be a fun season with you on this. I'm just telling you, I love Joe's, but you know what? You're funnier.
I think one good thing is like me and Joe's, the offense, the defense. I only hung with offensive linemen and defensive linemen because those other guys couldn't drink like me. Those little guys couldn't drink like these, man.
And what has changed?
I like to stay slim, so maybe a couple IPAs, less beer, less filling.
I had a guy I was doing an interview with, Coach Chris. You've been on the show, Joe. Coach Chris stories. So here's your shout out, Coach. And he asked me, he said, if you had to have a movie actor portray you, what would it be? I thought maybe a half of a second and said, Brad Pitt. Because you know what? When I'm slim, I'm really slim. Brad Pitt slim.
Whatever, man. I mean, come on.
Who would be your guy, Bees? Who would be yours?
Me. I can play my own self, I guess.
I was going to say Denzel Washington. Well, because you get a little gray right there, right?
Yeah, Denzel.
Denzel be good.
Michael B. Jordan at my younger age, Yeah.
Anyone else?
I never thought about that.
Who would play Joe's?
I'm so low key.
Me.
You can't play yourself. The question is, who would portray you as a Hollywood actor?
Hulk Hogan.
Probably Shrek.
You got the Hulk Hogan. You can do the wrestler voice.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Okay.
The Macho
Well,
Man.
I'll tell you.
No, seriously.
No, wait a second.
If Sam Elliott would put on about 200 pounds,
There you go.
there it is.
I would go with the voice. Your voice is so one of a kind that I would Sam Elliott. That's a good choice.
So one of a kind that when I wake up at night, it's almost called a nightmare.
Is that your ringtone?
Wolf.
Hey, it's Jojo. Answer the darn phone.
Hey, Wolf.
Answer the phone, Wolf. Come on.
Oh my goodness. That is all right, brother. We will see you tomorrow. Be ready to go. Did you study?
No.
People say yes. Just say you did.
No. I just talk football.
All right.
I talk coverages.
We're gonna do it.
Schemes.
We're gonna do it. Okay.
Yeah, you know, I know what they do. I know what they both run because I remember I was in there, so I saw the games from last year, and I saw the difference of, you know.
Oh yeah. Wait a second. What were you doing? That's right. I forgot. Let's take this back just a minute.
Yeah.
We can do whatever we want to do on this show. Okay. What were you doing at WVU in football? I forgot about that.
I remember I came down here. I was over here for 2 weeks, and I actually got to meet some of the defensive backs, and we formed up a great partnership where before they went to camp, it was just us for a week doing ladder drills. I was up in the indoor facility with them and just showing them the ropes. Then afterwards, we'd go watch film. I just showed them some little things that could help with technique-wise. And, you know, it really surprised me because it didn't surprise me because the way I coach, I have fun. I do the drills with them. And for a week, I gave them a lot of good knowledge and I got a lot of good, like, technical advice.
Well, we had a lot of changeover in the defensive backfield. Everybody was all concerned about that. Bees, what are you feeling about this game? Is that group of guys ready to take on this thing?
I think they have to come together because, like you said, there's different pieces come from different places, and the starters as a secondary, you know, the way we played, we were the four amigos. We came in together, and we did everything together. But that is the one thing I do see. When I was over there, these guys watch film, they do extra stuff, and I think it'll carry over to the game because we do have we have a great front that can take care of the back, and that's what we're going to have the great front that doesn't have the blitz and take care of the back. You know, so but the one thing they do study together, different positions. There's a good energy in that defense.
Okay.
You know, and that's like one thing I did get on them about. I was at a couple of practices, and I told them about the hungry dog syndrome, Pavlov's dogs.
Okay.
You remember science class?
Show me the meat I salvage.
Ding, 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 ding. When that ball moves, you move. Ding, 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 ding. Because, like, what happened was, like, you know, sometimes you're out there thinking so much that you're not following the ball because you're thinking about, oh, did I get my coverage? No, your eyes got to go and chase because you don't know what's going to happen. And I got on them and I got a chance to talk to them, and I got on them. I said, I'm sorry, but this is only meant for the defense. If y'all don't run to the ball every play, and I told him the story. I used to remember, Wolf, I used to chase people to the end zone every play, sprint back to the huddle, go line up, do my play again.
That's very true. Yep.
It's like you said, though, you're moving at the snap of the football. There's no hesitation. Everything's done. Your head's clear. When the ball's snapped, you do your job.
Yep. Yeah. And when the ball moves, your eyes move, you go. You don't sit there and sit back and watch, you go.
Okay.
Have those dogs.
That's enough because we don't want to ruin it for tomorrow.
We're going to tell them again tomorrow with more depth.
All right, Beast. God bless you, brother. We're going to move on because the next coming up after this special break from, you guessed it, Parmar Stores, we're going to have Adrian Morrell from Hawaii, running back, Jets 5th round draft pick. number 42 in the roster, and definitely top 5 in your hearts. All right, here we go. Let's go Adrian Morrell next. See you, Bees. Love you, brother.
Hi, my name's Zach Frazier, and I'm from Fairmont, West Virginia. And when I'm back at home in Fairmont, you'll find me at my local Parmar store.
We had that golden boot pride at Parmar. There are literally hundreds of Parmar stores in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and even more on the way. Download the Parmar app to save even more. And whether it's food, gas, groceries, or whatever, we have you covered at Parmar. West Virginia proud and ready to serve you.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
What does the Pitt, West Virginia football game mean to me, Super Bowl champion Mike Logan? Well, it's very personal. I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh, and I still live here, but I attended West Virginia University. These two schools are less than 80 miles apart, and nothing says rivalry better than territory to me. So you're either trying to protect your house or invade somebody else's space. The backyard brawl. If that doesn't get you jacked up, you might want to check your pulse.
Hello. What's up, Joes? How we doing, buddy? Yeah, that's it. We got Adrian Morrell coming on next. So good to have Adrian back. I think he's out of North Carolina. Goes, what do you remember about Big H? Well, he's making his way down here.
Well, he can run.
Yeah, he can run.
I mean, he's just run.
Number 42, man.
Just a great player. A legend. I mean, absolutely. What I remember most is the fact that he can run. He can do it.
Excuse me 1 second.
The clarity on live streams, the picture and the audio is so clear. It's unbelievable.
You know we're on live now. We're live.
Yeah. That's okay.
Okay. All right. We got.
But it's the pre.
We got the pre.
So we're okay. We're okay.
Where is Adrian Morrell? Where is my guy? Where's my Hawaii 5-0, man?
Yeah, what's up, baby? How y'all been, man? How's everything?
What's up, man? It's so wonderful to see. You know what? There's one thing I can remember back I was coaching, and when I was a senior, when you came in as a freshman, and it was that smile, that wonderful smile, the happy guy. And you always had this great thing about you, man. You wanted to say, when he saw you, it was like, what's up? What's up, Age? It was just a great thing to see you, bro. I'm telling you, it's so good to see you now. And, I can still see you're still carrying that light with you, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. It's good to be back to watch our Mountaineers go do battle with the backyard brawl. So I'm excited to be around this weekend. Or this week.
Brother, you look like you could still play right now, man. I swear. Look at you. Sweet.
I appreciate
Except that gray. You got a little gray in the beard. Got a little gray.
And then when the weather changed and you start to see me limping around, you know what I mean? This, that guy, he can't do that, man. But I appreciate it.
I imagine you took some hits along the way.
Oh, yeah. Took a few.
That's all right. You ran through most of them, and you ran by the majority of them.
That's pretty much what I probably did, was more running by, because downhill running, longevity probably wouldn't have lasted for a guy 200, 205 pounds,
Yeah, but speed kills, bro. Speed kills.
That's it.
Hey, did you ever notice when Joe's moves, everybody's microphone shakes?
He's a big man. You know what I mean? Joe's still a big man.
I'm like, every time I see Joe's move,
the
microphone.
I know. Yeah, he still has a presence when he talks and moves around, for sure.
I don't know if it's the body or the voice, but something's making the microphones move.
Hey, well, one thing's for sure, Wolf, is if I had a voice like this, it wouldn't go good. So I got to go with what I got.
God's giving you a nice talent.
I will never say anything bad about your voice, because when I walk down a dark alley, I want you walking with me and not in front of me, going at me. So you know what?
I got your back, brother.
Exactly, man. But that's the same thing that goes with Adrian. Adrian, listen, you know the Brotherhood, the Mountaineers. And you've been in the NFL, and you know that Brotherhood as well. But now let's talk about the Brotherhood of the Mountaineers.
Absolutely.
And when you think about that, and your brothers in arms on the football field, it's not a war battle, but it is a gladiator battle on the field.
Absolutely.
In between those white lines. What are your thoughts?
Well, coming back and looking at Vern Howard, Garrett Ford, being in some of those meeting rooms or being in the locker room with or the weight room, going through those stories is just that's the brotherhood that you remember and you cherish, and to rekindle those stories is really a part of history or a part of your life that you always remember and cherish.
What do you remember about WVU in particular? What was your good stuff? And it could be on the field, could be off the field, locker room, being there on campus. So what are your memories?
Oh my gosh! Well, man,
Go ahead. We want story time, man.
I tell you, we spoke about this at Major's his dinner not too long ago when he retired his jersey. And me and this gentleman named Mike Booth, we came in together.
Boothy?
Booth. You guys remember Booth, right? Yeah. So Booth and I are driving around, getting our books, getting situated for our first semester in college. Booth is going really fast, and I say, "Hey, Mike, slow down." It's like hills, and they're blind turns and everything. So anyway, he tells me he got it, and lo and behold, we're going down Sunnyside or whatever, go around a curve, and he hits there's water everywhere, and then he hits this little ramp. We land into the back of two cars. The car is still running. I jump out the car. Booth is in there looking around, and I'm telling him, get out. I think the car is going to blow up. You know what I mean? So that was we talked about that at Major's dinner, and we had a good laugh about that. That was really like one of my first days on campus. I think like day 2. I just got from Hawaii, and me and Mike is running around in Major's car, and he wrecks it.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. Tell me this: what was the culture transition? Because your father or family was in the military, correct?
Yes.
So they're out there. So what was that culture transition like for you, though, coming to Morgantown?
Well, it was a little different because I grew up in Hawaii, 80-degree weather, and then coming to West Virginia, alone. The only folks I knew was the guys I came on my recruiting trip with. So I really didn't have any bond here yet. So so learning to understand.
So who was the first? Who was the first you got tight with then when you showed up? Because you're saying you're kind of by yourself. Who was the first that latched on to Adrian Morrell?
Well, that guy right there, is he Vern? I latched on to Vern.
Well, he didn't latch on to you. He tried to swallow you. We want to talk jokes now, baby.
What did mean that?
We want to talk jokes, Big Bird. We call him Slim Jim Bird.
Hey, I'm the skinniest guy here out of the three.
Hey, these two, Wolfman and Vern, were over there earlier today, standing next to each other, comparing body width. Who's wider?
Let me tell you something. Don't let that man size fool you. He may outrun all of us.
That's right. You remember?
Well, maybe for 5 yards, but not for anything more because he'll be out of breath.
We only need to move 5 yards.
Oh man!
Oh my goodness!
I mean, all right, baby. My freshman year, I bonded with some guys in my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and those guys embraced me like a brother. And when if I felt alone or any of that, it was my brotherhood, my culture, and then being able to play the following year because I didn't get a chance to play my first year when I was here, so that's when the bonds become more with football in itself. When I was able to start being around the team, me, my group, so that transition was pretty cool.
Okay, so let me ask you this: what did you love about carrying the rock? What was it about being a running back so that you loved it?
Well, I felt like I had some ability to make people miss. I felt like I had, good speed that I could utilize, and I just loved the game. I grew up playing it since I was 7 years old, and there was just a mentality that I can make a difference when I'm out there playing. So I just wanted to win.
Yeah, you know what I think about that. And I have actually a highlight clip of you against Virginia Tech, and he actually broke the safety's ankles on a double move. It was a double juke, man. Now, you think you were more a finesse move guy, or could you still run through some guys?
So, yeah, I mean, I feel like I had a combination of power and the ability to make guys miss. So I was was trying to set guys up depending on the conditions. I think that game was kind of raining, and but it's really offense sticks too. At that moment, you make a football move, and he went for it, and I just had a reaction going the other way.
That's what I remember. Watching you play was the fact that you took very few head-on collisions. They were arm tackles. They were guys reaching for you because you were making your move and getting by them into that second level, and all they could do was reach and grab for you.
Right. I felt like that was the part of my game that made me who I was.
There's no doubt. You know what I remember about you, man. I'm going to tell you that is you were smooth, and you wore those big old shoulder pads. With that 42, you look like you were wide, man. You look like you got some thickness to you. I remember you could go those shoulder pads. Woo!
Every year I try to get smaller shoulder pads, and he would never do it. I'm like, dude, why can't I get some smaller shoulder pads?
Danny,
we got to make him look bigger.
Where's Danny at, man?
Where's Danny at right now?
Every year, Danny, give me some smaller shoulder pads. No, this is what you got to have.
Well, okay, let's talk about the backyard brawl. This is why we're here, man, and what we're doing, and a lot of excitement. We have over 50 Mountaineer former players returning for this week. Now, this has got to be probably 100. Or just 50 that are coming here tomorrow. And what's the big deal about this game, man? Why is it so important?
Well, it was when I came in, there was guys that talked about the Big 33. I mean, I guess coming back from, they're stemming from days from high school. And, going to Pitt, or they're going to go to West Virginia. So it was just that 79-mile journey between the two schools. It was tradition before I got here, and it's amazing to see that tradition coming back. So that's the reason why I came this weekend. I wanted to be a part of it, see how the Mountaineers do, and let's go Mountaineers.
That's great. Now, Beasley, let me ask you this: how did you do against the Pitt Panthers?
I did okay. I can't remember all the stats, verbatim, but I think our senior year, we won the game when we came here to play up here in Pittsburgh, and I got my first opportunity against Pitt. They had some incredible defensive players. Your senior, my junior year. They had guys like Keith Hamilton. They had Sean Gilbert. They had Steve Israel.
There's some big ones, man.
They had some guys
Tough
over
guys.
there, and it was just a point in the game where they needed some change in terms of what we were doing offensively, and got an opportunity and never looked back.
Let me think of this. 11 years we haven't played Pitt backyard brawl. 105th time coming tomorrow. What would you tell these young players today how to carry that mantle, that banner, that pissed off personal touch to the game? Because it's more than just a game, is it not?
No, it's more than a game. There's a lot of pride on the line about how many, the pride of each community that's in this area, or this 79-mile area, or really West Virginia and Pennsylvania itself. They've heard about this game for many years. Probably growing up, they heard about the tradition of the backyard brawl. And to see some of the old clips from games in the past, that's got to give them motivation to get that backyard brawl back in the right column of winning the 105th, time that we played against this great game. So it's good to have it back. I hope that they continue this, this backyard brawl tradition.
Well, that is awesome, man. Let's talk a little bit about the NFL. We talked with Bees a little bit, and being an ambassador for WVU, making it to the NFL. I think you played with 3 different teams. You were with the Jets, the Cardinals out there, my brother Ronnie out there, right?
Right.
And then, of course, you finished up with the Panthers. You were 10 or 11 years in the league.
So I was 10 in from
Okay.
93 to 03. And I finished out with the Cowboys. So I played for 4 teams. So the Jets, Cardinals, Redskins, and the Cowboys.
I shortchanged you.
You shortchanged me, man. You know, I got on the world tour at the end of my career there. But,
That's okay.
Oh, absolutely. But the NFL, in regards to that, I felt fortunate that West Virginia gave me an opportunity to showcase my talents. You guys blocking for me and giving me opportunities to do that, and Coach Neely really having faith in me and giving me a chance. I felt like I was able to carry that to the NFL and figure out a way to be a professional.
You got a story on Coach Nealon? Give me a good one. You got something juicy?
Oh man, I can't think of one offhand right now. I'll tell you.
Go ahead. It's okay.
No. I think about when he just came up and just named me Punch. You know what I mean? I don't know. It was pretty cool for him to say Punch. You know? I don't know. That's my story.
But why? Why did he pull that? Did he ever tell you? Why?
Never told me. And but I felt honored because the punch came from Coach Neal, Hawaiian Punch. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
So that's why they call me Punch. Yeah.
All right. Hey, Bees, I want to thank you, man. You going to be here tomorrow?
Bees and Morell.
Ace. Yeah.
Bees and Morell.
Well, if you're lucky, I'm sitting in between you two. All right, that's all I'm
You know what?
right now.
Here's the deal. You're a lot younger than Bees is.
I'm gonna stay away from that.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, are you going to be here tomorrow?
I'll be here tomorrow, man.
Okay, we'll be talking to you. And I want you to think of a good story that you could tell about Don Neal tonight, because it's going to come to you and say, I should have told that story. Because do you remember, was his finger fixed at the time that you were playing, or was it still broken?
It was still broken.
So tell everybody what you thought when he pointed at you.
Well, heck, I don't know. I mean, heck, he didn't point at me very often.
You know what? Maybe because I stunk, and that's why he kept pointing at me. I never knew who he was pointing at. Was it me, or was it Rico Tyler who sat next to me?
There was one time that he did send me up into the stands and told me to spell concentrate, or tell me to concentrate. You know what I mean? So he made me get in the playbook for him.
Well, if he told me that, I wouldn't know how to spell concentrate. So I'd be like, CO.
What?
CO, I'm done. Okay, so listen, we're going to go to break now. Thank you, Age. And thanks for coming back. I love you. MLP, baby. We're going to switch up. We're going to get some music going here by Nashville recording artist Marshall Lowry. But we're going to first take a break. It's going to probably be 1 to 2 minutes, Joe's. But we're going to wait for Marshall to get ready. So here we go. MLP, Mountaineer Legends pregame, the pregame. Here we go. Roll it.
Laying low, waiting for the day, like a lone wolf stalking its prey. You can try to hide, try to run. I caught the scent, I smell the blood. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. Try to catch your breath, try to keep the pace.
All right, Big Joe's. I just like that song. You know, I actually made those videos myself because no one could capture the intensity that I wanted to capture of these Mountaineer legends. And it was a lot of fun. And when I say nobody else, I'm just talking about myself because I love these guys so much. I know you do as well. A lot of respect. You are a legend yourself. It's awesome. This is just a taste here. Tell me what you think and thought about this Mountaineer Legends pre-game.
Well, first of all, I got to thank again Parmar Stores for making it happen for us, and of course opening their doors up here at Clark's in Pittsburgh for this pregame show tomorrow. And it's going to be epic, baby. It's going to be epic. We got all kinds of headliners, all kinds of legends. Mountaineers one and all, man, going to be part of it. Sharing stories, breaking the game down, talking about the backyard brawl. And you know, we're really happy to be right here at Clark's. Come and join us. Google it. It's easy to find. I drove right to it. If I can find it, anybody can find it, Wolf.
Well, I'm going to vouch for that one as well, being that if you can find it, anybody can find it.
Oh, amen to that, buddy. Amen to that. And you got to be here because this place is going to be nuts. Mountaineer fans, I'm telling you, it's going to be a great time, and we're going to get this thing cranked up, getting everybody excited for the game.
You know, Joe's, we got to really thank our brothers in arms, man. All of them are coming back. They said we're going to do this Mountaineer Legend pregame MLP, man, and we're going to be doing it all season long. And what a great kickoff we had. We had Mike Vanderjack.
Oh, what a turnout. What a turnout. Thank you, fellas. Thank you all.
You know, we had Aaron Beasley, who's going to be a staple on MLP.
Oh, Mike Collins is back here.
Adrian Morrell. You know, hey.
Big Joe Ruth is in the house.
Big Ruthie. Did somebody say Big Ruthie?
Ruthie's in the house. I see Beasley shoveling in something or other. I mean, it's the who's who of Mountaineer football.
And we're going to have Oliver Luck show up tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Major
Marc Bulger, Major Harris, Rasheed. I mean, that's like
Daryl Talley.
How are we going to get four quarterbacks in the same room? That's like trying to get, two chiefs in a huddle.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
A lot of that. And, we're going to have some exciting. You remember Mike Collins? Remember how we talked about Adrian Morrell wearing big shoulder pads? I'm telling you, Mike Collins' shoulder pads were the biggest shoulder pads I've ever seen because he used to lay the wood. Go out there, man. And all these great guys. It was our kickoff, man. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go talk with our brothers and hang out and rejoice and celebrate the return of the backyard brawl. Listen, we're going to start tomorrow. I believe it's going to be around 12:30 here at Clark's. We're going to have Marshall Lowry, who's obviously the Nashville recording artist, who's got a brand new song. It's awesome. We've heard it. We're going to have, if you can't come out tomorrow and get fired up, get your blood boiling, get your bloody knuckles attitude on for the backyard brawl, then you know what? Like Mike Logan, who's going to be here tomorrow, Super Bowl champion Steelers, he says that you don't have a pulse.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, so signing off, Joe's MLP, Mountaineer Legends pregame with myself, the Wolfman, and Big Bad Brian Joswick. That's it, folks. Have a great night. Let's go, Mountaineers. Hail, West Virginia.
Amen.
We're out.